Hello, I'm Jeremy, and welcome to another episode of RevUs, where mistreated movies get a second chance. Today, I'll be looking at the insanely underrated Exorcist parody, Repossessed. Ever since the unholy trinity that is date movie, epic movie, and disaster movie, parody movies have gotten a really bad reputation and have virtually died out. But before parodists were trying to copy Scary Movie, they were trying to copy Airplane. And like with the Scary Movie clones, a lot of them didn't work. However, some did. Films like Silence of the Hams, The Godson, and Airplane 2 the sequel did a good job capturing the zaniness that made Airplane such an awesome movie while not being an outright copy. And another such successful parody was one that starred the man who Airplane made into a comedic legend. The one, the only, Leslie Nielsen. This is Repossessed.
He's back, thought he was gone, Jack. Now in fact he's back and mad as a black panther, proud and bound to attack a child lost in the wild. This was
17 years after she was first possessed, Nancy Aglet, played by Linda Blair, yes, they actually got Linda Blair to appear in this, is possessed once again by a demon. The family tries to consult Father May-I, played by Leslie Nielsen, the priest who originally got rid of the demon thing possessing Nancy, but he refuses. However, after a televangelist couple named Ernest and Fanny make things worse, May-I gets into action, and wacky and horrific hijinks ensue. Repossessed is basically for The Exorcist what Airplane is for 0 Hour. It has a lot of the same kinds of jokes and has Leslie Nielsen, but it actually manages to distance itself from Airplane and give it its own charm. Let's start with the comedy. The comedy in Repossessed is very similar to that of Airplane, full of sight gags, snappy dialogue, references to other films, and of course Leslie Nielsen being Leslie Nielsen. While it's nowhere near as awesome as it was in Airplane, it still manages to be pretty funny and have its own unique style while still emulating the feel of Airplane. The characters are great too. Let's start with Father May-I. May-I is a really good character. Leslie really gives his all in the role and really makes the character his own. May-I has a very eccentric vibe to him, with a very surreal personality and sense of mannerisms, yet still takes his job seriously, and Nielsen's charm and humor really opens the character up to some very funny jokes. He doesn't exactly have the charisma of Frank Drebin or Dr. Rumack, but May-I is still a very enjoyable character that really makes Repossessed an enjoyable film to watch. Moving on to his protege, Luke Brophy. Brophy, played by Anthony Stark, is a very enjoyable character. Stark does a good job in the role, bringing a lot of good humor and comedic timing, and the character himself has some really funny moments. He interacts really well with the other characters and is a very welcome addition. Moving on to the demon, played by Linda Blair. Like I said, this parody actually has Linda Blair, the woman who played the girl who was possessed in the original Exorcist movie. And in addition to that fact being really cool, Linda Blair does a really good job. As Nancy Aglet, she's just okay, a generic nice housewife. But as the demon, Blair really kills it. She's incredibly funny, over the top, and hammy, yet still has a sense of grounded reality to balance out the craziness. She's very reminiscent of characters like Beetlejuice, Bill Cipher, and Maurice from Little Monsters. Very wild and crazy, with a smart alecky attitude, which makes for some really good humor. A great character portrayed by a great actor. Finally, the televangelist couple, Ernest and Fanny Ray Weller. Both Ernest and Fanny are great characters. Televangelists are absolute scumbags, and both Ned Beatty and Lana Schwab do a perfect job parodying the scummy phoniness of televangelists. They're incredibly over the top and cartoonish, to the point where they do the exorcism on live TV with a telethon, but they still have a bit of cleverness to them, and they get what they deserve. Two really great characters that make the film enjoyable. Finally, let's talk about the music. Repossessed has a very solid soundtrack. The two most notable tracks are Devil with a Blue Dress and He's Coming Back. Jesse Shade of JoBlo.com, who reviewed this movie on his Awfully Good Movie series, which I totally recommend checking out, by the way, it's really funny, criticized Devil with a Blue Dress for only being used because it has the word devil in it. And while that is definitely true, I don't really see it as a bad thing. For one, it's a really good song, but two, it adds to the chaotic energy of the film, as Devil with the Blue Dress On is a very energetic song, and as for the devil thing, it's not that bad, as there are honestly worse examples of a song matching with a movie. As for He's Coming Back, unlike Devil with a Blue Dress, which was an already existing song, He's Coming Back was an original song. And despite winning this movie a Razzie, He's Coming Back is a really good song. The beat is toe-tapping, Chris sounds good, and it fits the movie's tone. Good song for a good movie. In conclusion, Repossessed is a really good movie. While it's nowhere near the level of something like Airplane, The Naked Gun, or Top Secret, and some of the comedy hasn't really aged that well, Repossessed is still a very funny and underrated highlight of Leslie Nielsen's career. It's definitely not a film for everyone, as it's incredibly silly, light on character and plot, and much of it is firmly rooted in the 80s, but if you're a Zucker Brothers and or Leslie Nielsen fan, like horror comedies, enjoy 80s time capsules, or like The Exorcist, give Repossessed a watch. This is definitely one horror comedy that's a scarily good time. That's all for now. Stay tuned for more content when I make it. Until next time, this is Jeremy, signing off. See ya!